welcome to episode 266 of Magic the Amateuring.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for people who are learning the game of Magic, returning to the game of Magic, just want to get a little bit better, or become a part of their Magic community.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's show, we have just a lot of greatness is the way I'm going to sum it up for everybody.
We're going to bring so much information from our brains to your faces.
Yeah. Have you ever had information thrown at your face violently? Because that's what's going to happen today.
Well, I call pies information, so I have.
I'd like a strawberry information, please.
Oh, man, my favorite kind of information is just like a good key lime information.
Oh, key lime information is so good.
Really tasty stuff.
Have you ever been pied?
No, actually. I don't think so.
Like it would. Yeah, I think you would remember if you had a pie thrown in your face.
Really? It seems like something that you could forget.
I don't think I would. I feel like it would hurt. You know, even if you, all they are is just
you're right.
The whipped filling.
Yeah.
You're still going to get hit with the back of the pie tin in the nose.
No, you're right. But even though they're like the soft aluminum ones, I think.
Still going to hurt.
Like, yeah, you're right.
If a pie's been thrown at your face, please let us know how it felt using the hashtag PieFace at MTAcast. Please tweet at us. The people and we need to know.
Yes.
Besides,
also, did it hurt?
Yeah, I want to know the extent, if your nose broke, why you were pied, if you can fit this all in Twitter's, I don't know how many characters they have. What is it now, 240?
I honestly don't know.
They're going crazy, Twitter.
Yeah. So what kind of pie are we bringing to people's faces today?
Great question. Okay, so we're coming to a close of new Patron month, or Patreon Pledge Drive month here at MTA Cast, which means March is going to be a brand new month that we're bringing you.
That's right. We decided that a theme month was so much fun. We're having another theme month.
Just like a theme party. If you go to one, you're like, why am I ever going to a normal party?
And you're never going to go to another normal party. You're going to only throw theme parties.
Oh, I love it. So this coming month, March's theme month, is Teach a Friend to Play Magic month.
That's right. We're celebrating new players in the month of March and encouraging all of you to bring a new player into the game. And we're going to do that with all sorts of different giveaways that are specifically geared towards new players. We're even going to, spoiler alert, have a new series.
Video series.
A little new video series that's going to come right at you that is specifically for people who are starting out knowing nothing about Magic.
Yeah, and to help introduce or kick this month off, we're going to have a segment in this show that is kind of how to teach your friend how to play Magic. This is probably the number one question people ask us, actually, is how do I get my friend, significant other, et cetera, child into Magic? How is the best way to teach them? So we're going to give you our favorite tips coming up in this show.
So that even though they're your et cetera child, you can still show them that they're valued by teaching them Magic.
I'm just a normal child. Oh, I was an et cetera child. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, happens to the best of us.
It happens. We're also going to talk a little bit about what the standard environment is looking like these days with updates from GP Memphis for you. Plus, the modern world got shaken up. Yeah. With some
unbans.
Wild unbans.
How is Modern doing? Is it still alive? Do we have to do chest compressions? What's going on?
Exactly. We're gonna figure out were these unbannings a
defibrillator?
A defibrillator right to their chest? Or
I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? And here, it might be the most exciting thing we're going to say to you yet. We have some Magic 25 preview cards to share with you. That's right. Magic 25 preview cards. Not one, not two, but three. Yeah, we have three cards. No big deal.
Very exciting Magic preview cards.
And we have our drawing for our winner for our just kind of like thanks for being a listener / viewer prize at the end of the month. We have a winner for February, and we'll start a new contest for March. You can find the link to that in the show notes or under the YouTube video in the, I suppose you could call those show notes as well. The link will be there. It is a Gleam link, and everybody is eligible to enter. So we'll do that drawing at the end of the show. Wow, we have a lot of stuff.
We really do. But
what?
Before we bring that pie to your face, we have a couple of people to thank.
Yes, and number one, of course, is you. If you are a patron of this show on patreon.com/MTAcast, thank you so much for helping us. We had a big hump to kind of get over when we switched over to monthly. We're still not quite at the level that we were before we made the swap, so this is kind of our final reminder that we're going to...
Hey!
throw in your face like a pie to please switch your pledge from weekly to monthly. $1 a month is just not going to cut it for our bills, but $5 is great. So go over to patreon.com/MTAcast. It takes less than a minute to update your pledge. Or if you want to become a new member, we saw a lot of new members this month and it was absolutely fabulous. So welcome to the family, everybody who is a new member. Some people say, I want to still help for your office. Ravnica, you can see our lovely office here behind us if you're watching the video. And you have until the end of today, February 28th, that's Wednesday. February 28th, the last day of February, to donate $50 or more on paypal.me/MTAcast to get your name on our office wall. So just a couple more days to do that as well.
That's right. And back to Patreon, just very briefly, $5 a month. It's so little. It's literally like cents a day. It's like 15 cents a day.
Yeah.
It's like less than 15 cents a day.
Yeah.
It's so little, but it does so much for us. So if you want to make your 15 cents go as far as it literally possibly ever could.
That's probably true.
15 cents isn't even 8 minutes on a dryer at a laundromat. Which I know because I recently went to a laundromat and it's 25 cents for 8 minutes, which is a ripoff.
That's insane.
Right?
They're fleecing you.
Yeah.
Literally.
Also, so nothing about this laundromat had changed from like 1995 except the prices.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was literally the same machines.
Probably.
That being said, I had a very nice time. I washed all of my clothes.
We're cheaper than a laundromat.
Exactly.
Magic
it will
amateur.
go farther than a quarter at a laundromat. That 15 cents a day.
And if you want to think of it in terms of episodes, if that's how you prefer to think about it, it's $1.25 an episode, which is pennies. Pennies. On the dollar. It's $1.25.
Which you can count in pennies.
125 pennies. Why do we still have the penny, by the way?
I don't know.
Other countries laugh at our stupid penny. It's so dumb.
Did you know that like Canada got rid of pennies and now they're even talking about getting rid of the nickel?
Yeah.
They're just like, how far can we push this idea?
I mean, I'm all for it. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want change.
Get it out of there.
In my wallet, rattling around like the bones in my backyard.
Anyways, thank you as well to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. CardKingdom.com/MTAcast, an amazing place to get boosters, singles, any like wonderful extras that you're looking for.
Yeah.
Great place.
I pulled out Card Kingdom Battle Deck here, which, speaking of new player month.
Yeah.
You can get these at Card Kingdom for $10, 10 bones, if you will. And they're fantastic ways to get somebody into the game because they're pre-assembled. They fight well against the other battle decks. And there's even monocolored ones for super beginners, but we're going to get into that in a little bit.
Nice.
But that and other great stuff, please use the link cardkingdom.com/MTAcast. You can even request a sticker to be sent with your order.
Ooh.
Yeah. For the noobs, introducing your friend to Magic.
That's right. Like Maria said earlier, it's one of the most frequent questions that we get from people is like, hey, what are your recommendations if I want to get my friend into Magic?
Yeah.
And so we're bringing you right now.
Here you go.
The best ideas that we've got. The tried and tested methods.
We know these work because it's how we got into Magic.
So we are test subjects 1 and 2.
What side effects and all, what will happen.
Exactly. Side effects.
Side effects. Many, actually, if you think about it.
They really are.
Speaking in bizarre slang in your real life even.
Honestly, the number one thing that I think of, I think is probably how much more like linearly analytical I am of life situations.
Yes, absolutely.
Stuff where I never sat back and like went through point by point analysis of something going on in my life.
Yes.
It was just sort of like, this is just what's happening. And now it's like, well, let us examine all of the pros and cons.
Let's think about the value gained by this. Or like, I'm the least analytical straight line brain person that I know, and I have noticed this change in myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I do the same thing.
It's insane.
It's wild.
Watching Twitch on weekends, never did that before.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
Anyway, you can expect a lot of side effects for your friend. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Tip number 1
is to pick a simple set of decks to teach them with that are going to have just very basic mechanics and are not going to throw too much at them all at once.
Right.
So for instance, like thinking back to like Magic's core sets in the past, mechanics that you're going to see in those sets are great ways to start because those sets were specifically geared towards, hey, anybody, no matter what length of their understanding of magic or their playing of magic, should be able to use these.
Sure. And we're going to get a new core set. So there you go. That's coming up.
Exactly.
If you don't want to wait, a good way to do it is just to go on Card Kingdom, for instance.
That's right.
And find some really simple mechanic cards, some really easy cards, and build 2 monocolored decks for your friend to battle with.
Absolutely. And that's going to help them just like get the feel for all of the basics, because people have like, the biggest thing is maybe be understanding that people are going to ask you questions that if you're a couple of months even, or a couple of years especially, into your playing Magic, you're going to be like, that's like, why did you not understand that?
Yeah.
But it's like, you need to be really explicit about stuff. Like, hey, if you tapped a land for mana and you spent that mana, you don't still have it. You spent it.
Right.
But guess what? That's like, it's okay for someone to not initially
Magic is a hard
understand
game.
that. Exactly.
I remember, I've said this on the show before, it took me quite a while to understand the concept of first strike.
Yeah.
It took me quite a while to understand the concept of damage being on a creature during blocks.
Yeah.
And assigning damage. That
Absolutely.
kind of thing was bizarre to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, get ready to go through that stuff.
You're going to have some interesting questions from people. And that's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And if you pick, like, again, there are starter decks out there that are specifically about teaching players. So go and get those, because they're going to have stuff that it's like, it's going to be interesting. It's still going to be fun. It's still going to be magic and challenging.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like, hey, I'm going to throw like Metalcraft at you right at the top.
No. I'm holding here a starter deck. This is literally a starter deck from Wizards of the Coast. This one is from Magic Origins. And a lot of times stores will have these available for free. Sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. So it's worth checking. They're 30 card decks that feature a Planeswalker, which is a little bit, I think, a little bit advanced for new players, but the rest of the deck should be probably fine. But I think the number one deck I would recommend if you want a pre-con is Card Kingdom's monocolored decks that there are prefab for learners. So that's what I think would be the best if you don't want to build one yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, so tip number 2. Teach them with another friend.
Yes. We always say that it's probably the reason why we ended up getting so into Magic is because it's so nice for them to, no matter how understanding you are, you're still going to have so much of an advantage from having played Magic for so much longer than them. And
you're going to destroy them every game.
You're going to destroy them. And that can be disheartening for people, understandably. And you don't want to be super easy.
Them.
Exactly.
No.
Like, you don't want to throw games in their favor. Like, no one enjoys that experience. So if you have someone who's legitimately just of the same experience level as that player, like, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to make sure that those two players always have someone who's at their skill level to challenge what they're learning, to challenge their thinking without being disheartening and feeling like, I'm always behind. Like, I'm never going to know this well enough to compete. The truth is, like, yeah, eventually, like, you'll know it well enough to compete sooner than you think you will.
Right.
But if you're always playing against someone who has years more experience than you, you can feel like, I will never be able to catch up.
You know, and that friend is going to have the same kind of beginner questions that your other friend will have. And it's just going to be helpful to have somebody else there so they don't feel so silly, maybe asking a question that might seem basic to you, but to them is not at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so tip number 3.
Is to point them towards resources that they can learn about or read or watch on their own.
Yeah.
Because obviously you only have so much time to devote to teaching someone magic.
I mean, you have 24 hours in a day.
Honestly, you have 24 hours, 7 days a week. But if you have to go to work or something like that, and you want to say, hey, like, if you're enjoying this, you should start, like, reaching out independently. Like, you can learn this in your own time also. I don't always have to be here. You're very much empowering them to be like, you can go forth and learn on your own.
You can alternatively set up a webcam in their house and watch them on their magic journey and check in
all
anytime
the time.
You think that they might need a little
100% surveillance is another option.
Yes.
But if you don't want to go that route, you can point them towards, like, hey, like, here's Twitch. You can watch streamers. Here's Twitch. You can watch Magic tournaments on the weekend.
Yeah.
Here's articles that you can read. If you want to get better at this stuff.
Speaking of reading articles, we recommend Read Dukes. Level 1 article series on Wizard's website. All you have to do is Google Reed Duke Level 1, and you'll find his series of articles that are specifically geared to teaching somebody magic. They're great. So recommend those. YouTube's a great resource for finding magic stuff too.
Absolutely.
Especially once our new video series is up there.
That's very true. You can point them towards a new video series.
Oh, where could that be? So that's going to be up like pretty soon.
Yeah,
the first
at the
lesson.
start of next week, we will have our first lesson up.
Yeah, it's called Magic 101, by the way. And it'll be just very, very basic stuff about magic. So that'll be pretty helpful too. Yeah. Yes.
And finally, take your friend to an event.
Yeah.
It's like tons of people out there just play at the kitchen table or play in their local, like in their friend play group, which is totally legit and valid. And like, if that's how you and your friends are going to enjoy it, perfect. But if you're a person who goes out to FNMs or you go out to draft night at your local store, take your friend with you to introduce them to the world of like playing out in the, playing out in the community. Because being part of the Magic community is very much a very fun part of being in the game.
And once they've had practice with the decks that you've either built or bought for them and they've played a few times, they might be pretty intimidated by going into a store, but that's why you're going there with them. Yeah. And the first time's always going to be a little scary. I remember our first time was draft. Mm-hmm. So we even like upped the...
Yeah, it was way...
That was good.
Very intimidating.
Whoa, first time draft, how about? Yep. Not even a constructed deck. But like, we're living proof that we went, we did it. It was super fun.
And we went to so many other drafts after that.
Yeah. So like, it might be scary, but it's so worth it.
Exactly. Help your friend like get out there and know like, hey, even if I can't always make it to FNM with you, like here's what it's like. Like now we've gone to the first one together and like you can go out and play these events also.
Sure. And it's totally fine for your friend even to say, this is my first time playing when they're there, because then their opponent knows, I think, being like, okay, this is what's going on. And if they forget to untap or do something, maybe I can be helpful to them as well. But pie and other assorted candy as incentives is also something that we
very much encourage incentive-based learning.
Have you considered a bell that they can ring for a treat when they've done well? I'm thinking of that video of the cats.
Of the cats who ring the bell and they're given treats. Oh, it's really cute.
I like see so many different versions of that video.
Oh, it's so cute.
And it's so good.
God, it's so good.
Every single time. Do you think your cat could be trained to ring a bell for a treat?
That's an interesting question, because I do think like she knows stuff like if she paws at the door, I'll come let her out. And she just knows that on her own. I never like taught her. So I do think that she's very smart.
So she could
But she's also kind of older. So I don't know if it's an old dogs can't learn new tricks situation.
I don't know. If you've taught your cat to ring a bell for a treat,
please tweet it at us with the hashtag #catbell.
Time for another standard corner.
That's right, everybody. It's just a standard corner.
Just 90-degree angles.
Yep.
Saying hi.
Everything in here, very normal.
Speaking of standard.
That's right. There was a GP this past weekend.
Walking in Memphis. Walking with my feet in fear.
Have you ever heard that song before?
I'm doing the Cher version.
What?
Yes. There's a Cher version of Walking in Memphis.
Is it similar to what you just said?
I mean, that was a dead-on 100% pure impression of Cher. So
in that case,
yes.
Okay.
My X-Files fans, yeah.
So let's look at this top 8.
Oh yeah, there's some spice in here.
Yeah, it is all over the place.
Standard has been shaken up, and I think everybody agrees it is awesome right now.
That's right. So we have Mardu vehicles. Boo.
Well, it's been around. It continues to be around.
Grixis Energy.
Yep.
Red-green monsters.
Love it.
Nice. Blue-black control. And Sultai Constrictor.
Cool.
These are some sweet archetypes.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are nothing like what we were seeing before.
No, Grixis Energy is where...
Except Mardu vehicles, which can go straight to heck.
Megan hates Mardu vehicles.
Heart of Kirin is the worst card in the world.
Yeah, Heart of Kirin's very annoying.
It's really upsetting.
Do you hate it more than Aethersphere Harvester? Yeah, I probably do.
I do. I definitely do.
Yeah.
I think 2 mana versus 3 is just a big difference.
Yeah.
I guess Heart can get Fatal pushed, but...
Yes.
But...
It has Vigilance, that's why I don't like it.
I don't like it for every reason available
For every reason.
For every reason. Oh, also it can be crewed by Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Liliana's getting up in there. I mean, I don't know what kind of deck that is, but
she freaking Heart of Garen.
She could. Yeah, Grixis Energy, of course, the child of Temur Energy.
Yeah.
New and improved, or worse and improved. I don't know.
Just new. I mean, new, worse, but you can't say worse and improved. New and worse.
New and worse.
I think it's just new and different. Let's just call it new and different. I think that's polite. It just got different.
That deck's different.
I mean, it's still playing. This is a card I've seen everywhere now.
Oh my gosh, it's everywhere.
Glint Sleeve Siphoner.
This card is basically cast in every game I play of Magic Online. My opponent casts it on me.
I've seen a lot of it. I've seen a lot of it.
Blue-black control has been around for a while.
Yes.
Here it is.
It's playing some Torrential Gearhulks, of course, and of course Scarab Gods.
Yep.
Very sweet. Moment of Craving we mentioned last week.
Oh yeah.
Surprise inclusion, but like, hey, gains you some life.
It's great.
Kills a lot of things.
Sends them to exile.
Sweet. Yeah. No, it doesn't.
I mean, no, it doesn't. What am I saying?
I have no idea.
It doesn't kill them. It gives them -2/-2. That's the important part.
Yeah. It doesn't destroy them.
Doesn't destroy them.
It's just minusing them into oblivion.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet.
But Glint Sleeve Siphoner, it does a lot of things that you want to do. It's a 2-drop. It has Menace if you want to attack with it. Draws you cards.
And you usually do want to attack with it because you can get that sweet energy.
Yep.
And you can draw those sweet cards.
I'll tell you a card I don't personally care about.
What?
Glint Sleeve Siphoner.
That's fair. You don't really care. I mean, if they draw too many cards, that's trouble.
I mean, I have
That's big time trouble.
Big time trouble right here in River City.
Yep, exactly. So I'm just looking at this Grixis Energy deck.
Yeah, right? Are you into this?
There's too many creatures for my taste.
That's true. It does have a bunch of creatures.
Yeah, 4 Whirler Virtuosos, 4 Glint Sleeve Siphoners, some Gaunties, some Scarab Gods, some Gearhulks. Just like a greatest hits.
Yeah, greatest hits standard right there. A Braid.
Especially when they're attacking.
Essence Scatter in the main. 2 copies of that, which is interesting. 2 Fatal Push. 4 Harness Lightning, that seems about right. 2 Magma Spray, important.
Yeah.
2 Supreme Will and 4 Vraska's Contempt, and then you got 2 Search for Ace Cannas in there as well.
So this is very like this deck is kind of like it's right in the middle.
Yeah.
Of getting work done.
Mid-range.
Exactly. It's like I'm gonna play some cheap creatures that are also have like some incidental value, like Whirler Virtuoso. I'll get to make some Thopters maybe. Glint Sleeve Siphoner, I'll get to draw some cards maybe. Gaunty, basically drawing a card.
Stealing cards more like.
Exactly. And then I'll back it up with like some counter magic for like your most crucial answers.
Yeah.
And some removal of my own for your like most potent threats.
It just does it all basically.
Exactly. This deck is like, I work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then when I'm done working my 9 to 5, I go and I work another 9 to 5, but it's a 5 to 9. That, you would die if you did that.
Yes.
If you were working 9 to 5 and then 5 to 9 all the time.
Did you know
24
this?
Hours.
Fun fact.
What?
Working the graveyard shift is a carcinogen.
Whoa.
Yes.
Isn't
that weird?
Bonkers.
Yeah, man. True fact. It's
like so bad for you.
It's so bad for you.
Yeah.
I used to work the graveyard shift. That's how I know this.
Ouch.
It was bad news.
Did you feel bad?
It was horrible. I felt terrible constantly. I got like 4 hours of sleep a night on the regular.
My gosh.
It was awful.
That sounds really painful.
Yeah. And then I was like doing shows and stuff too. So
that sounds literally painful.
It was, yes.
Like I would hurt.
That's where my energy drink, thing started, is because I had to stay awake.
Addiction?
Call
it what it is.
Addiction. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Let's talk about the deck that won the whole dang thing.
Which was?
Red Green Monsters from Tyler Schroeder.
Nice.
So people were wondering if Red Green, Dinosaurs was going to make an appearance, or Naya Dinosaurs. Not exactly, but
this has got some monsters in here. It's got some Glory Bringers.
Yeah.
It's got 4 Jade Light Rangers, which we talked about last week also.
Can
the card is sweet.
Certainly be big enough to be a monster.
Explore.
Just for 3 mana?
Nice.
Sign me up.
4 Rekindling Phoenixes.
Oof.
What a card.
This card is an all-star.
Oof. Yeah, this card is a beating.
Do you want this card or do you want Glory Bringer?
both, right?
Yes.
The answer is you want both?
The answer is you want both.
Because they're playing 4 of each.
Yep.
This monsters deck plays 4 of each. But they've also got like some early cheap stuff. They've got Resilient Kenra.
That's crazy to me.
Right? It's 3 of them. That's pretty sweet though. And then 4 Earthshaker Kenra. And then it really is just monsters.
Ronus the Indomitable is going to help you pump up your creatures.
Yeah. Monsters for days.
This deck, I think, just says to me is basically like threat, huge beefy threats. Can you deal with them?
Yeah.
If you can't,
like one after another.
Dead.
Like boom, boom, boom.
All
boom,
of these
boom.
creatures you basically need to kill.
Yeah.
Or do something about, because they're going to be pretty huge on the battlefield for the most part.
And so many of them, like Earthshaker Kenra, can come back.
Yep.
Resilient Kenra comes back.
Rekindling
Phoenix comes back. Hot dang.
Yeah.
Hot dang, cool kids, as they say.
It just I played against it today online, and it feels, it just beats face. And it's just like, my creatures are going to be, for the most part, just way better than most of your creatures.
Yeah.
Especially in my case. But that's kind of my deck's deal, vampires. It's just like, keep slamming great big beefy monsters into the battlefield and win.
Yeah. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I also want to just look briefly at this Sultai Constrictor.
Yeah.
Because it's got some sweet, we have Winding Constrictor, of course.
Yep.
Which is the little snack that puts some counters on other things. And then it's got like Walking Ballista, obviously, to make use of that. It's got Jadelight Ranger, because if you're getting those counters from Explore,
you might as well get more.
You might as well get more counters. Like, think about it. Like, what if you explore once with Jadelight Ranger, and you like get a counter and then you get another counter, and then you like explore the second time and it's like it's a counter and then another counter, so you're potentially putting 4 counters on it.
Sick.
So it's like a 6/5 for 3 mana. Like if you go turn 2 Snake, turn 3 Jadelight Ranger, and it's like a 6/5, and you're like, well, here's my 6/5.
Okay.
Yep.
And it has 3 copies of Hadana's Climb, the enchantment in it as well, which is pretty interesting, I think. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, me neither. But like this card is like, it works well with the snake. Honestly, it just like makes things hard to, like, it can take those little creatures and make them big threats.
Yep.
It makes things tough to block. This deck is cool. Like, this is one where I'm like, I can see myself trying this.
But let's get real. You're going to play blue-black control, right?
Oh, yum. It looks delightful.
And I mean, Drakehaven is still a deck. White-blue approach is still a deck.
Is Drakehaven still a deck?
I don't know. I played against it the other day. It beat me very handily. It's the only deck that I think that has beat me that I'm like, oh, I don't think I can ever beat that deck.
Oh, fair enough.
Drakehaven.
I really like, I'm still toying with approach. I'm still out there giving it a good old shot. Sometimes I do all right and sometimes I do not do all right. So, but what is that but magic?
It's a really, really deep metaphor.
It really was. I think it was, I was really giving us a lot of insight with that sentiment.
I wanted to look up another deck here, which was pretty cool. I'm going to scroll for a little bit to find it. Naya Monsters, by the way, in the top 32, mono red aggro, of course, which we would kind of expect. We talked about
these 9 through 30
cycling
deck. Okay, all right. There it is at 17.
Jund. If you want to play Carnage Tyrant, there's a Jund deck in the top 32. That's pretty cool. Obzon Tokens is still a deck.
I've played against a lot of that online.
Oh, really?
I've been playing against so much Hidden Stockpile online.
Ugh, Hidden Stockpile.
It's really upsetting.
Jack Kiefer's deck. White-Black City's Blessing.
This is a delight.
This deck is crazy. I love it.
I adore this deck.
I want to kind of try it. It's not exactly my style, but it's pretty cool. I still like it. It's got 3 copies of Crested Sunmare.
Yes.
So this is...
Because why not?
Because why not? This is other horses you control have indestructible. At the beginning of the end step, if you gain life this turn, you make another one. You make another 5/5 horse.
And it's playing 4 Call to the Feast, 4 Queen's Commission.
Tokens for days.
Plus, of course, Radiant Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. What a day.
2 copies of Ixalan's Binding and 2 Thopter Arrest to help you deal with stuff from your opponent. Only 4 things, but that's all you want. Oh, plus 2 Fatal Push. So I suppose 6 spells. And and the rest of it plays like a sort of aggressive vampires deck, like Legion's Landing.
3 of this like
horse.
This 5/5 horse. It's
yeah.
Like, here I am. I'm a horse.
Don't know. I gotta try it.
I'm way into this deck. Nice work.
Good
nice
job,
work,
Jack Beaver. I think it's cool.
It's real sick.
Unfortunately, no straight up black-white vampires in the top 32.
But this is like a cooler version, honestly.
It's a neat, different, beefier version. There's mono black aggro, which we've seen before. And I wanted to touch on, I'm not sure where the deck list is, but we saw a cool moment at Memphis from Chris Botello, aka Mr. Cat Pact. He's known for brewing up really cool decks. And he played one that had, what is it called? Something Acquisition. Why can't I think of it? Oh, yeah,
like Curious or...
It's 2 black, and you can go find a card out of your sideboard or wherever. And he brought in...
You can search your deck or your sideboard.
Zakama, he brought in Zakama with it.
Yeah.
So he cast it, got Zakama, untapped all his lands, blew up his opponent's board. It was pretty sick.
Nice.
Yeah, so some really cool stuff going on in Memphis.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, the format's still wide open. We should get on Twitch and play some standard games for peeps to see what we can do.
That's right. Tune in. Twitch.tv/Magic the Amateuring. Remember last week when I called it Twitch.com?
Yeah, I do. But then we found out.
It turns out just reroutes there. Just reroutes there.
Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, Ultra Pro.
That's right, everybody. Ultra Pro is a maker of fine magic goods.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Very
the finest
fine.
Magic goods.
The
Why,
finest
if
of the
you're
land.
looking for playmats, why would you look any farther than Ultra Pro? Why, they simply have the best magic art, and they're simply of the best quality.
Ooh, this playmat looks lovely.
My goodness, look at it. It's beautiful. Sleeves. Why would you use other sleeves when you can shuffle the butter and silk that is Ultra Pro's Eclipse sleeves?
Why would you use any other dice than gravity dice when you want to roll something that feels superior in your hands?
That's right. Gravity dice, they weigh enough that you know that they understand the weight of what they're doing.
They won't float away like other dice.
No, they adhere to the laws of gravity, unlike all those other dice that don't.
Would you like a fancy deck box with dice in the top and cards in the bottom?
Ooh!
I would.
Me too. Ultra Pro.
Ultra Pro, dice in the bottom, cards on the top. Why, they make every kind of deck box where you might want dice and cards.
That's right. Ultra Pro.
Let's take a time out for a modern minute.
That's right, everybody. We're thoroughly modern because we're modern players.
That's right.
And so we talked last week about some updated
updated results,
updated ban and restricted list items.
Oh, yes.
Some updates to the ban and restricted list. Maybe that sentence was never going to work out.
Yeah, unless you were living in a small hole beneath the Earth's surface, you know that...
Is that just a cave?
Sometimes.
Okay.
I would love to live in one. Anyway, Jace the Mind Sculptor is unbanned in Modern, as was Bloodbraid Elf. So, has the world collapsed?
Yes.
What?
No.
Oh, gosh.
So, we've seen a surge of decks with these cards. Specifically, I feel like we've seen a lot of Jund.
Oh, yeah. Jund is back.
With Bloodbraid Elf.
Yeah.
There was like the modern, what's the word I'm looking for? It was like the modern showdown this weekend. Not showdown. What was it?
Modern mega fun time.
Well, anyways, there's modern challenge this past weekend.
Yes.
On Magic Online. And if you're looking at it, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, there's a lot of Jund, but you know what? And there's like blue-white is now starting to play Jaces. Sure. So you're also seeing, and also there was like some Grixis and some blue-black with Jace as well. But the answer is also that like Modern is still looks healthy. You still look at the top 8 and beyond of that, and it's like there's still a ton of different decks out here.
Great.
That people are playing. So honestly, that's like if you're keeping your pulse on the hand of the Magic.
If you're keeping your pulse on the finger of the Magic community.
Exactly. If you're keeping your finger on the pulse of the modern metagame, the answer is that, like, yeah, obviously the world's looking a little bit different. But it seems like so far the answer is there's just some new viable archetypes that aren't like pushing down too hard on old archetypes. Everything is still, at least right now, looking to be flourishing.
Yeah, I will report back after playing in Vegas against Bloodbraid decks every round.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. I mean, we've still got a lot of big tournaments to come. The last big Modern tournament was still pre-ban.
That's right.
Pre-unban, I should say. So we can't really recall data from that. But in the future, we'll keep our eye on it and see how Modern continues to develop with these unbans. In the middle
of March, we've got GP Phoenix, which is going to be Modern. So we're going to be able to take a look at that in a couple of weeks and say, hey, is it still true that if you're keeping your pulse on the finger of the Modern metagame, that things are going well?
Hopefully.
Excuse me, come here. I just need to put my pulse onto you.
Wait, what?
Like, feel my pulse is what I'm asking
Your
you.
pulse is on me?
Yes, I want you to feel my pulse.
Is this a doctor's? Are you accredited?
Yes,
Are doctors accredited?
They have to, I mean, they're like, are they licensed?
I guess.
What are they exactly?
I don't know.
Because they have to pass their boards.
Yeah.
And those are like,
and they have to
like redo them sometimes.
I see diplomas on walls.
Exactly.
But that's not a licensing.
So like, what is it? Do you remember the movie Catch Me If You Can?
Yes.
Which is based on a true story.
Yeah.
And that guy actually faked being a doctor for a while.
I mean, if it's just a diploma on the wall, look, I could do that.
But he was like being a doctor.
He was like had appointments and stuff.
You've seen the movie,
I know.
Right?
It was a long time. I was in high school, I think.
I mean, it was also a long time ago, so I'm sure you could just fake modern medicine back in the day.
They didn't have the internet.
Exactly. There was no WebMD for someone to go home and Google and be like, that doctor was wrong.
You had to like write to somebody, were you this person's reference?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
And he just like forged all that stuff. So there was just someone, my point is that there was someone faking being a doctor at least at one point in the world.
I bet right now in the world there are thousands of fake doctors.
Thousands?
Yes.
That is such a high guess. I really hope that that's not true. I bet you.
I don't know.
Look, I'm going to give you 2.
You want to say 2? You're taking 2 or under?
Let's do just the U.S.
Oh, well, if we're doing just the U.S.
Just the U.S.
Ooh, that one's harder.
And we're not talking people who are like, we're not talking about like
homeopathic
people who are like, I'm talking about literally people who have an office and a diploma on the wall and are like, I'm a doctor at this hospital.
Oh, man. Okay, I'll say 5.
You think that there are 5 fake doctors?
I love the best part of this bet is there is literally no way to know.
There's no way for us to ever know.
We like contacted the police and they're like, we arrested 5 fake doctors.
Oh my God.
I mean, the stipulation of the office is like really.
Yeah.
Because you could just be some person on a street corner like, yeah, I'm a doctor.
No, I'm talking about like they have like the full on like catch.
They have a business card.
Tell us your guess for how many fake doctors there are in the United States with the hashtag Dr. Fraud.
That hashtag is lots of like conspiracy theory people on it.
It really is. Why were we talking?
Modern?
Yeah, modern.
I don't know.
Anyways, I'm super excited. I'm excited to get out there. There's a new miracles list.
Yes.
Also, yeah, so you could already see some of these decks in action last week with the Team Modern Super League.
Yep.
Which plug for that, you should keep watching. This week it's Team CFB versus Team Genesis.
Nice.
It's going to be awesome. And then our team is playing again at the end of March.
Mark your dance cards.
That's right. And Emma Handy, I converted her to the religion of taking turns.
Oh, we could take some turns.
But she made some improvements to the deck and made a new version with Jace.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
If you want to see how many turns she can take, tune in. Which day is it going to be?
That's not until the end of March.
The end of March. Okay. Yeah. Well,
but tune in every Tuesday to see it because you're just going to see some awesome modern play.
It's been great so far.
Some really sweet decks. It's very cool.
Twitch.tv/magic. Magic 25 preview cards.
That's right, everybody. Oh,
happy birthday, Magic.
Happy birthday, Magic.
You're 25.
Congratulations, buddy.
Great job.
You are going to be able to do so many more things in your life.
Yeah. You're 5 years away from your 30s. I don't know what that means. So like,
get ready.
Get the partying in while you can.
Exactly.
You've already been able to rent a car at a cheaper rate.
Yeah.
For a couple of years, I think.
Do you know what? Wait, actually, that might be.
Is it 25?
Or it's 24.
I can't remember if it's 20. It's 20. Yeah, something like that.
So I know a bunch of people who are this year turning 30.
Yeah.
And they're all just like, I want to go and multiples of them have been like, I want to go into my 30s being like the healthiest that I've ever been.
Oh.
And the entire time I've just been like, at first I was like, that sounds cool. And then part of me was like, no, I just want to go into 30 being like, I partied as hard as I could for the last several months of my 20s.
You know what? Being somebody who may or may not be older than 30, I will concur with Megan on this and say,
like, wreck
you
that
need
stuff.
to wreck your 20s as hard as possible. Exactly. Because your 30s, guess what? You don't want to do as much. Party all the time.
So it's just
like, a lot harder.
I'm just gonna trash the place.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
By which I mean the end of people's 20s. The end of your 20s. Trash them.
I agree.
Which is maybe a much less noble cause than entering the healthiest you've ever been.
You've got your 40s to be like, now I'm getting healthy.
Also, I feel like the argument we were saying that the argument then could be like, it's so much easier to like once you turn 30 be like, oh, I'm gonna get my life together. Yeah, like you can make some very easy changes after that.
Yes, but in your 20s, no, your life does not need to be together. You just need to have a good time.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
So anyways.
Anyway, happy birthday, Magic.
Happy birthday, Magic. This leads us into rats.
What?
I can't find our preview cards.
Oh no. What could have happened to them?
I don't know.
Rats. We're trying to give you a hint here, everybody.
Because there's rats.
Rats are happening in Magic 25.
That's right.
And by the way, if you didn't know, Magic 25, new set coming out.
Yeah.
And it's full of super powerful cards from Magic's history to celebrate their birthday. So you're going to see things like, what was on some of the packaging? Jason Mind Sculptor is going to be in this set. Like, it's stuff that it has been insanely powerful over the history of Magic, and you're going to get a chance to play with it, even in a limited environment. That's going to be super fun. Anyway, rats.
Nazumi Cutthroat.
Yes.
It's our first preview.
Nazumi Cutthroat, welcome.
1 and a black for a creature rat warrior.
Oh, it's so cool. I love his little armor and chain.
He's a 2/1 with fear. It can't be blocked except by artifact creatures and or black creatures. And it says it can't block.
Who cares? That rat doesn't want to block.
No, it doesn't want to block.
It's like,
you're afraid of me. I'm a rat. I'm a rat with a flail.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's like a two-handed. It's like one on each end and a big chain between. This is a scary instrument in a rat's hands is what I'm saying.
You know what I didn't know about fear is I suppose on some level I did, but I forgot that they could be blocked by artifact creatures.
Oh yeah.
They're not afraid of anything.
No, they're not.
But
artifact creatures are like, I'm just an artifact.
Like, oh, I'm scared of black rats coming at me.
Yeep.
Yeah, so
nice.
Wizards of the Coast thought it'd be funny to give us all the rats in 25. I can't say there's all the rats.
Or rat related.
But I do know that rats is not a sub-theme, so don't go thinking it's not a sub-theme.
They specifically were like, here's rat-related cards for you to preview. Rats is not a sub-theme.
But we have 3 rats.
But we do. Well, no, they're not all rats.
Oh, okay.
But we have rat catcher.
Okay, it's kind of a rat.
Rat catcher.
Someone who touches a rat.
For someone who touches a rat.
Speaking of.
Wait, not all people who touch rats are rat catchers. But
that's
all
true.
Rat catchers touch rats.
The other day, I moved something in my house. Guess what I found?
Rat.
It was a mouse. It was a dead mouse.
Oh my God.
Gross.
That is gross.
I know. How long was it there? Probably months.
Well, was it like rotting?
It was rigor mortis. I'll say that.
Oh boy. I mean, rigor mortis does not take that long to set in.
That's true. I don't know. It was horrendously horrifying.
This conversation is creeping me out.
I was a rat catcher. Anyway.
4 black for a creature, Ogre Rogue.
Oh, okay.
Ogre Rogue is a difficult creature.
It's an Ogre Rogue.
Ogre Rogue.
4/4.
I'm an Ogre Rogue. Also has fear.
Yep.
At the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library for a rat card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library.
Okay, so go find your fear rats.
Yeah.
This
go
has
find
fear
your
itself.
rats that are afraid. Afraid.
You know, have we ever played with fear really before?
You know, I think that we have, but it's not something that they print on new cards.
No, it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah. But it does still feel familiar. Maybe it's because it's like kind of similar to like Intimidate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which we did play with. Finally, more
relentless rats.
Relentless rats. These rats are relentless.
1 black for a 2/2 rat. And Relentless Rats gets +1/+1 for each other creature on the battlefield named Relentless Rats. Ooh. A deck can have any number of cards named Relentless Rats.
So if you want to go out and build yourself
a rat deck,
you can just make it all relentless rats.
Yeah, if you're drafting.
There's no 4 of rule in this sucker.
No. Just pick up all the relentless rats and go crazy.
All of them.
Because nobody else, guess what?
Rats,
nobody else
rats.
Only
rats,
you want
rats.
Yeah, so rats in 25. These 3, at least.
Yeah.
There may be more. I don't know.
And if you want to take a look at them, we'll have them up in a little bit on our Twitter as well.
Yeah, these are pretty cool.
Take a look.
I'm excited to draft Magic 25. I think it's going to be like drafting
sweet
Modern Masters, probably even more powerful than that.
Holy buckets of magic.
All I know is that I love drafting sets that were specifically designed for draft, which these sets are, these Masters sets.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited.
Magic 25. Get out there. Celebrate Magic's birthday with magic.
And rats.
And rats.
Well, everybody, that's this episode of Magically Amateuring. Thanks for coming along for the wild ride.
That's right. We sure hope that you were able to keep your hats on and your arms inside the vehicle.
And pies in your face.
That's right. All of this pie brought to you, once again, by you.
Yes.
Amazing patrons of the show. For everyone who's already a patron, thank you 1 million times from the bottom of our 1 million hearts. I mean, our 2 hearts, because we're humans and we only have one apiece.
Of course.
Which is the normal human number.
1 heart per person.
It really does mean so much to us. If you're not already a patron or you have not updated your pledge, hop on over to patreon.com/mtacast. It is easier than making yourself a peanut butter sandwich.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not even saying peanut butter and jelly.
No.
I said peanut butter sandwich.
Getting the peanut butter out of the jar onto your bread without getting any on your hands is difficult.
Exactly. This is easier.
Easier than that.
Thank you as well to our wonderful sponsors, cardkingdom.com/mtacast and Ultra Pro.
Yeah, 2 great sponsors that give you almost everything. Well, I'm not going to even say almost. They'll give you everything you need to be able to play Magic between those 2 sponsors. So thank you so much to them for sponsoring our show and helping us out. And once again, if you want to get your donation into Ravnica here and our name on our office wall, $50 or more, we'll get you that at paypal.me/MTAcast. You have until the last day in February. Before we go, we're going to announce the winner of our drawing for this month.
Ooh, yeah. Which is?
It is somebody with the username and email address, It's Not Malaria.
Congratulations.
You
That
win.
is great news.
Great news that you don't have malaria. Fabulous news.
1, congratulations on that. 2, congratulations on winning the drawing.
Yes. So we're going to send you an email to let you know how you can get your cool stuff. And we're going to start another drawing for the end of next month. And you can find the link to that drawing in the show notes for this podcast.
Peace out, suckers.